Imagine for a moment that everything in your life begins to flow with ease. The right people appear at the perfect time. Opportunities open effortlessly. Your body feels light, your mind clear, and your heart at peace. And what if I told you, this is neither fantasy nor coincidence, but the direct result of your vibration? Everything in the universe vibrates. You vibrate. Your thoughts, your emotions, your words, your actions, each is an energetic pulse emitting a frequency. This frequency is like an invisible language the universe understands and responds to. That is why what you emit, you attract. But here lies the hidden key few truly understand. It is not enough to raise your vibration temporarily. Real transformation happens when you sustain a high vibration permanently independent of external circumstances, beyond the ups and downs that drain your energy and disconnect you from your true power. This is the deeper teaching of this journey. Together, we will explore why holding a high vibration is not only possible, but essential if you wish to awaken consciousness, manifest with clarity, and walk life from your most authentic spiritual center. Raising your vibration does not mean being positive all the time or faking happiness, nor does it mean avoiding darkness. Rather, it is about inhabiting an inner frequency of truth, coherence, and presence even in the midst of chaos. This exploration will be your map. We will uncover the ancient origins of the concept of vibration within esoteric traditions. You will come to understand how vibration operates through your physical, mental, and spiritual bodies. You will see what blocks your frequency and how to transcend it. And finally, you will learn practices, choices, and shifts that can anchor you into a state of elevated energy that no longer falls. Prepare to remember that you are more than a physical body, more than a personal story, more than fleeting emotion. You are vibration in motion. And today, you will recall how to raise it and sustain it like a true master of energy. Are you ready to cross that threshold? The idea that everything in the universe vibrates is neither a modern invention nor a passing spiritual trend. It is an ancient truth, echoed in countless forms by the wisest civilizations in history. From the Hermetic teachings of ancient Egypt to the Yoga Sutras of India, the principle of vibration has been honored as a universal law. The Kabbalion, an esoteric text attributed to Hermeticism, declares in its second great principle, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Though poetic, this axiom contains a profound reality. Vibration is the secret breath of the universe. Everything that exists, matter, thought, emotion, soul, resonates at a specific frequency. And that frequency not only defines its nature, it determines what it harmonizes with in the Vedic tradition. This is expressed through the concept of spanda, which means sacred vibration. According to this vision, divine consciousness, Shiva, Brahmaness, not a static presence, but an eternal dance of vibrant energy pulsing through all forms of life. The universe, then, is not a dead structure, but a living symphony, where each human being is a note with its own frequency. The shamans of the Americas also understood this truth. To them, every being, stone, river, eagle, or human carries an inner melody. When someone falls ill, they lose their song. When someone heals, they return to vibrating in harmony with the Great Spirit across time. These teachings were whispered among initiates, preserved in secret rituals, hidden from a modern world obsessed with what can only be measured. Yet the esoteric never disappeared, only became more subtle. Today, quantum physics begins to confirm what the sages knew by direct intuition: that matter is not solid, that everything is composed of particles in motion, that vibration is the structural foundation of reality itself. So, what does this mean for you? It means you are not static. You are not your past, your thoughts, or your emotions. You are a frequency in constant oscillation, and that frequency can be tuned. Have you noticed how certain people radiate peace the moment they enter a room, or how others seem heavy even without saying a word? That is vibration. It cannot be fate, it cannot be forced, but it can be elevated. And here lies the great spiritual dilemma. Most people fluctuate, rising and falling like an emotional pendulum, trapped by external circumstances. Yet the great masters, the ancient sages, taught us that it is possible to anchor a higher vibration as a permanent state of being. How? Not through a single technique, nor through fleeting positive thoughts, but through an inner transformation, where the soul becomes the true center of command, and the mind, body, and emotions begin to orbit around it. This is the knowledge that transforms, because whoever understands how their vibration works, understands how their life works. And when you raise your frequency, you don't just change your experience, you reconfigure the very reality that surrounds you. To elevate your vibration permanently, you must first understand what that vibration truly is and how it is generated. It is not some abstract, impractical, metaphysical concept. Vibration is the living sum of everything you are in this moment. Thoughts, emotions, words, actions, habits, and, most importantly, your intentions. Imagine you are like a radio station. Every thought you have, every emotion you sustain, every word you speak tunes you into a specific frequency. Some are gentle, clear, and elevated. Others are dense, confused, or chaotic. What matters is not raising your vibration for brief moments, but learning to sustain the highest frequency you are capable of and making it your natural state. But what shapes this frequency? First, thought and perception. Your vibration is closely tied to how you interpret reality. Two people may live the same situation, yet respond in entirely different ways. One falls into panic, anger, or frustration. The other observes, reflects, and acts from calm. Which one do you think vibrates higher? Thinking itself is not the problem, it is how you think. If your mind constantly repeats judgments, fears, criticisms, and comparisons, you anchor yourself in a low vibration. Even if you try to meditate or feel better, Vibration rises when thought aligns with consciousness, when you stop reacting automatically and begin choosing consciously how to perceive the world. Second, sustained emotion. Here lies an essential nuance. It is not about repressing emotions, but about not living chronically identified with them. You may feel sadness, anger, or anxiety. These are human and necessary. But if they become your baseline, your vibration stagnates. Gratitude, for example, carries a measurably higher frequency than resentment or guilt. And the most fascinating truth is this: you can train yourself to inhabit these higher emotions, even in the midst of challenges. Sustained emotion, not the fleeting one, is what tells the universe who you truly are. Vibrationally, third, your relationship with the present. The present moment is the gateway to the highest vibration. When you are fully in the now without resistance, without expectation, without judgment, your energy field organizes itself. The present is the only place where you can experience true peace, wholeness, and connection to your being. Those who live in the past, endlessly replaying wounds, or who project themselves into the future with fear, anxiety, or insatiable desire, vibrate at unstable frequencies. Their energy scatters, fragments, and becomes contaminated. To inhabit the present is not only a spiritual practice, it is energetic technology. Fourth, inner coherence. Here we arrive at one of the most powerful pillars for a high and permanent vibration. Coherence. When what you think, feel, say, and do are in harmony, your field becomes solid, luminous, magnetic. Internal incoherence, on the other hand, fractures your vibration. You may say, "I am light," yet live in fear. You may proclaim, "I believe in love," yet act from guilt or manipulation. The universe does not respond to what you say. It responds to who you truly are. This brings us to an inescapable truth. Your vibration does not rise magically through affirmations or superficial rituals. It rises when you decide to become someone who vibrates higher. At first, elevating your vibration may feel simple. You meditate, speak affirmations, connect with nature, practice gratitude, and feel an inner expansion. But the real challenge is not lifting yourself for brief moments. Sit is sustaining that vibration in the midst of the world, when external stimuli threaten to pull you back into denser frequencies. This is where the deeper art of spiritual awakening comes into play. The mastery of conscious vibration. The universe is a mirror, not a passive one, but a living, dynamic reflection. It mirrors your inner state at every moment, but it also tests it. Just when you begin to vibrate higher, situations, people, or thoughts appear that seem to destabilize you. This is not punishment, it's training. Have you noticed how, after a moment of clarity, you may suddenly face an emotional confrontation? That is because, as your energy rises, it illuminates hidden corners that were once in shadow. What is unresolved surfaces, and there you are faced with a choice: return to the old pattern, or hold your frequency from a higher awareness. This first obstacle is what we might call energetic relapse. It does not mean you have failed. It means your system is reorganizing. Imagine tuning an instrument. At first, the sound is off, jarring, even unpleasant. But with patience, presence, and care, the sound transforms, and so do you. Another challenge is the collective mental noise. We live in a culture that feeds fear, urgency, comparison, and unworthiness. To vibrate high in a world vibrating low requires a silent rebellion. You cannot expect approval or understanding. Often, you will be misinterpreted, judged, or even ignored. But it is in that silence that your power grows. Because when you no longer need to be understood in order to be yourself, you are free. Then comes the trap of the spiritual ego. It is easy to confuse high vibration with superiority, with feeling more evolved or more conscious. But the moment you compare, the moment you seek validation, your energy drops. The soul does not compete, it simply vibrates. And the higher your state, the more humility, compassion, and quiet it brings to sustain an elevated frequency does not mean avoiding human emotions. It means not being imprisoned by them. You can feel sadness without becoming sadness. You can walk through fear without surrendering your power to fear. You can acknowledge your shadow without letting it obscure your light. Here, conscious self-observation becomes vital, not for judgment, but for alignment. Ask yourself simple questions. Does this thought expand me or contract me? Does this emotion connect me or separate me? Does this action honor my truth or my fear? The key is not perfection, it is vibrational honesty. To be authentic in each moment, even if that authenticity stings a little. For truth held with love naturally lifts your frequency, not because of what you do, but because of who you choose to be in every moment. And finally, we arrive at the most powerful ingredient: surrender. When you stop resisting, stop forcing, stop controlling, your energy opens. High vibration is not achieved, is allowed. It happens when you align with the flow of life, when you choose to trust the unseen, when you recognize that you are never alone, but held by a greater order. Raising your frequency, then, is an act of faith. Sustaining it is an act of mastery. To elevate your vibration is not an isolated event, nor an occasional experience. It is a sacred discipline, a way of life chosen with every thought, every word, every action. Authentic spirituality is not measured by how many books you read or how many rituals you perform, but by how you live your daily life with awareness. Here, I present to you 7 practices that, if integrated with true commitment, can profoundly transform your energetic field and help you sustain a higher vibration permanently. First, awaken. With a high intention, do not begin your day reacting to external noise. Before touching your phone, before thinking of your tasks, connect with yourself. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Ask, what energy do I wish to inhabit today? This simple act aligns your consciousness with a clear frequency from the very first moment. No matter what happens outside, you have already chosen how to vibrate. within second. Care for what you consume, not just food. Everything that enters your body and mind affects your vibration. This is not about perfection, but about discernment. Notice how certain foods, songs, conversations, news, or social media affect you. Do they expand or contract you? High vibration requires coherence with what you allow into your field. Surround yourself with information, environments, and people that nourish your energy, not drain it. Third, silence and conscious breathing. Amid the chaos of the day, find moments to pause and breathe. 5 minutes of silence can elevate your vibration more than hours of anxious productivity. Breath is the bridge between the physical and the subtle. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. Return to the present. There lies the purest vibration. Fourth, speak truth from the heart. Words are vibration made manifest. Every time you speak, you create. Avoid judgment, complaint, and empty criticism, not because they are wrong, but because they lower your frequency without notice. Speak with compassion. Express from authenticity. Use your voice as an instrument of clarity, love, and purpose. Fifth, move as living energy. The body needs movement for energy to flow. Dancing, mindful walking, yoga, or simply stretching upon waking allows your vibrational field to unlock. Physical stagnation generates emotional stagnation. Movement is energetic medicine. Sixth, give thanks without reason. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is one of the highest frequencies you can inhabit. You do not need great achievements to practice it. Give thanks for your breath, for the light of day, for the path before you. The vibration of gratitude elevates perception and connects you with true abundance, not having more, but seeing more. Seventh, rest deeply. Sleep is not only physical restoration, it is vibrational recalibration. The body needs rest to integrate the frequencies it experiences. Respect your sleep cycles. Create moments of calm before bed and disconnect from screens or negative stimuli. This is essential to awaken with clean energy. Remember, elevating your vibration is not a destination, but a continuous practice. You do not need to do it perfectly. You only need to do it consciously, in presence. A daily decision, a mindful action, a moment of silence can be enough to remind you of who you are and bring you back to your center. In every instant, you have the power to either descend into the noise of the world or ascend to the temple of your soul. You have come this far not by chance. Your soul has guided you to this knowledge because it is ready to remember something essential. You are not a victim of the energy around you. You are the creator of the frequency you emanate in a world that constantly seeks to lower, distract, and disconnect you. Sustaining a high vibration becomes a revolutionary octopath of energetic sovereignty that not only transforms your life, but also the lives of those around you. As we have already seen, vibration is contagious. When you choose to inhabit a higher frequency, your mere presence begins to resonate with other souls ready to awaken. But this is where many people stumble. They expect raising their vibration to be a miraculous event, a technique that works instantly, an emotion that sustains itself. High vibration is the result of a daily, deep, and silent commitment to yourself. It requires that you look at yourself with truth. Observe your thoughts not from judgment, but from awareness. That you feel your emotions not as enemies, but as messengers. That you inhabit your body as a temple, not a prison. And above all, that you choose the present as your only place of power. Because only in the here and now can you make aligned decisions. Protect your energy, clear your field, elevate your habits, and become a channel through which higher consciousness can flow. This is not theory, it is living practice. It is sitting in silence when noise wants to dominate you. It is saying no to what no longer resonates with you, even if it scares you. It is holding yourself with compassion when everything seems to collapse and still choosing the light again. That is the vibration that does not break. That is the energy that does not depend on the external. That is the inner strength that transforms a human being into a master of themselves. And when you do it, when you truly sustain that frequency beyond the initial excitements, something sacred happens. Reality begins to reflect that inner state. Your environment shifts, your relationships purify, your opportunities align, because you are attracting them, but because you are already vibrating from there. And now I tell you clearly, the world does not need more information. The world needs more people vibrating from the soul, people like you who dare to remember their power and use it with love, with truth, with awareness. So if this message resonated with you, do not let it pass. Incorporate it, practice it, inhabit it. Subscribe to the channel if you wish to continue exploring the mysteries of energy, spirituality, and inner transformation. Like this video if you felt that this information touched a deep part of you, and share it with those who are also ready to remember their original vibration. Because when you change your frequency, the entire universe begins to dance to your rhythm.